myself the incredible challenge, and I'm documenting my process here with you, being completely transparent. So I need some capital for my business, and I thought, you know what better way to, you always see these videos get advertised of making £15,000 a month, making this, making that. So what I love to do here at Lorna Media Studio is to test theories and to see, is this possible, and give you my feedback. Now, firstly, I want to say is that I won't be screen sharing because my laptop is a MacBook Air. Okay, this is why we need more capital to reinvest into equipment. Okay, so I didn't realize, I didn't think. It's a long time since I've been live, and I have a MacBook Air. I need a better operating power system. So for now, I'm not going to go live, but I'm going to give you my feedback and my observations so far. Okay, so what am I doing? What's the goal here? And who am I? My name is Tasha. I am the founder of Lorna Media. I simplify business and marketing. Technically, I'm a digital transformation consultant. So the hot on the press at the moment is Claude. Claude can change your life. Okay, we see it all with X.com. Super exciting. What am I doing about it? So I decided to create a ghost brand now, or a pen brand name. Eventually, we will be moving into the era of AI personal brands. So this really falls in line with that. If I just wanted to create a different brand and practice my theory of what I've learned with Claude so far in making digital products versus my own personal brands, because I've already got an established brand. So it takes a little bit more time. If you want me to go dive deeper into this in another video about creating a ghost brand versus creating your own personal brands, let me know. I would happily share some information. But what I found is that I take far too much time with my own brands, because at the moment I'm in I've re-strategized, and it takes a lot more thinking at the moment. I just want to make money, and I want to make money fast. And because everybody else is doing it, why can't I? And if we have the power of AI at the moment, this is what we're going to do. So first of all, how much money am I investing into this project? I'm investing in the Claude monthly fee. And so far I spoke to AI and I asked it to give me the prompt that I wanted to find my niche that I wanted to select. So what I did is I found my niche, and then I started building. So the total amount of time that I've used so far is 3 hours last night. I would say 3 to 4 hours last night. There was a bit of troubleshooting. And then today I've spent 4 hours completely. So firstly, my first objective is I want to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the least amount of startup costs. So I said to Claude that I want to have a £0 budget. Okay, so these are my observations so far. Last night when I put in my prompt, I was really excited because actually the highest return on investment digital product to come back to was something I forecasted like 3 days prior, because this is what I do. Lorna Media helps the digital skills gap. And what I thought is that, okay, here's an opportunity for me to really help this niche, but it doesn't really apply to me as my brand. So I decided to create a ghost brand. So that's what I decided yesterday. I was busy. So the first steps was to create a Gumroad, to create the digital product first, then list it on Gumroad, then create a TikTok automated system with Claude, because again, I want this to run passively. I don't want to do it myself. I want to have the least amount of involvement possible, spending about 3 hours a day on it. That's it. So the first problem that I came up with is Claude deleted all my prompts. This was like the first bug. So this video, we're going to talk about all the things, like what apps am I currently using, what is my thoughts so far, and what are the problems that I'm facing so far, and is it really that easy to do? Okay, so if anybody's thinking about creating digital products and making money out of it, especially with Claude and people advertising you for $15,000 a month, I want to test that theory. Okay, so the first thing that happened is that basically you have to ask it, what is the industry, like what is your supply and demand, you know, what's happening, like, because you don't want to create a digital product that doesn't have a low competitive space and a high demand area. Firstly, that's the only thing. So what I asked is Claude to give me options, and then I want to see the revenue forecast per week. So I said I need to make money within the next 2 weeks, and by 12 weeks I need to make a set amount of money. I gave it the most craziest idea to make me £1 million in a year, which is the 1%. Okay, so it gave me 3 options. So it says by week 1 I will make £0. 2 will be 37 to 185 pounds. Week 3, 185 to 555 pounds. Week 4, 370 to 925 pounds. Week 5, 555 to 1,500 pounds. Week 6, 925 to 2,000 pounds. And then week 7, 1.5 to 3,000. Week 8, 1.5 to about 4,500. Week 9, 2,600 to about 6,000. Week 10, 3.5 to 7.5. Week 11, 4.5 to 9.5. And then week 12, 5.5 to 11,000 pounds. So basically we're going to try to generate 10,000 pounds in 12 weeks. Okay, that's what AI said I can do. So we're going to test that theory. Okay, so what happened is that why you needed to have the full prompt, and then you needed to say exactly what you want to have. The first thing with working with Claude is when you've mapped out a strategic plan, the first thing you want to do is download. So at the top, after it gives you like a really cool, it looks like a nice aesthetic dashboard. You want to be able to click down on the right hand side. There's like 3 little dots. If you hover over it, you want to save. It's a HTML file. You want to save that, because the first thing, Claude does not memorize everything. That's the first mistake that I found, is you have to download HTML files if you're working out a plan, if you're working out personal branding, whatever the case might be. Always download your file, because I've seen that by me not downloading, I had to spend today, like last night, I spent like 4 hours. At the end of the 4 hours, because I had to create a LinkedIn profile, I had to create a my Gumroad, my Gmail, and what happened is that it lost all the information. I was like, where did the information go? It just malfunctioned. So that is the first step. So today I made sure that I was saving all my HTML files, because literally you will have to reprompt again. So I had to reprompt again today, and it's basically, it took time out of my day where I could have carried on. Okay, so that's the first mistake that I made, and the error that came up is that it lost everything that I was doing except for maybe the last chat, and that's like, it lost 3 hours worth of work. So always back up your file. I don't really know how to back up things in Claude, but what I'm doing is that I'm just downloading the HTML files, saving them into organized folders into Google Drive, just to back me up already. Whether I fix that and automate that somehow later, that's another story for another day. For now, we're just gonna keep focused. Okay, so I ended last night going, do you know what, I need to detach. Let me come back to this today. So today, so the couple of things on my working process that I want to talk about Claude at the moment is that I'm using Claude.ai desktop. I've installed Claude desktop on my phone, so I've got on my on my laptop, so I've got Claude Code, and I also have God mode on my laptop. So I've installed God mode, I've got Superbase, and I've got, what else do I have? There's maybe one more item that I have. So this is what you start off with. You can use it on desktop, but to be honest with you, because if Claude ever shuts its door one day, I've got all the terminals on my desktop, all the files. So I've got all the I've got all the back end things that I need. So this is just like a little backup system. I'm very new to Claude. I just want to say that I've been using Claude since I discovered it in February, and I start to just use the free version in February. It was only on the 18th of April I decided to buy the premium one because I wanted to use Claude Code, because I'm currently developing an app that I've never coded an app before. So this comes down to my second point and mistake and things that you should consider before diving deep into digital product world with Claude as well. Okay, so if you're operating in God mode and in Superbase, where these are things that you've never had before, and Superbase is just an external save storage place, is that my first hurdle came into play today, and that was debugging. So what happens is, and what I will comment down below if you want me to show you a little bit of behind the scenes of what I'm doing. I'll happily share some workflows. At the moment, I need to just figure out my live streaming situation, but I just really wanted to go live every day on this platform so I can give you a bit of a check-in on what I'm doing, because I'm just seeing too many videos give you, oh, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this. And I'm very transparent with my audience. I really help over the age of 38-year-olds transition into the digital skills era, and I give you the truth and I experiment myself. Okay, so what I learned is with Superbase, God mode, terminal operations, is that you use Claude.ai as you ask it to help you basically work itself. So you, every step you've got to screenshot your way, because this is like coding jargon. I'm telling you, you have to reread like some of the things. I'm like, what are you talking about, Claude? I do not understand at all. Which is quite funny. I just want to see if I can just change this, maybe because to help the audio for a second. I'll come back to that. It's okay. Okay, so what next? So basically, the trying to decode the code it takes time, okay? Because I know at the moment we're in setup phase, so I don't mind spending a bit more time in the setup phase, because I want everything to operate like on an automation scale. Like, I don't want to get involved. I just want AI to do its thing, and I'm just like, yo, cool. That's my goals and that's my objective. To make money and have the least amount of involvement. Is it possible? And how much human experience do you need to have with Claude or building things like a digital product? Okay, so there's a couple of steps that I added into Claude. So the first, the third point is that don't just trust everything Claude says, okay? I have started to notice that that is literally it. Let me see if I just maybe put this on here. Maybe that can help the audio, but okay. So what I found is that because I work in my industry of the online world and what's transpiring right now, I know many steps. So as a complete beginner, and you don't know all the steps, you might not have the skill to be able to tell and pick up things when Claude is making a mistake. So the first thing that I did was I every time reminded Claude that I'm building, because it all of a sudden told me to download CapCut, and I'm just like, because one of the marketing tools is TikTok to reach an audience and to build up a TikTok account. But I'm like, but I'm not filming. Okay. I don't want to be part of my brand. Like, I want this completely ghosted in a format that I don't want to be present at all, because this is a massive, like, this is a good experiment for me to do. So it was like, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. So you have to always remember what your brand goals are, and remember to, if it comes up with an idea, you just got to re-navigate it. So Claude does go off on a bit, and you've got to bring it back to center. And that's what I'm saying, is that once you download you want to create, before you start everything like this, you want to make sure you have, okay, who is your niche, what's your goals, what's your plan for the next 12 months, bring a forecast for the next 12 weeks, give me the 3 market segments, because even if it gives you 3 opportunities, what I've picked up so far is that you can product stack. Okay, so if this is successful with the first brand, you can then go into, well, not brand, the first product, you can go into the second product and the third product and product stack and have everything automated. Okay, so that's kind of the goal, to reach, for me, £1 million. But for now, we are just working with one high return on investment product with a high demand area and a low competition. That's the key here to do. Okay, so those are the few mistakes that I've seen so far. So then the next thing is about branding, but because you want to make sure that at the end of the day you can have the box standard formatting and I would say brand guidelines that Claude gives you, but to be honest with you, you want to go that one step deeper. Okay, so I just quickly went onto Pinterest and I looked for the aesthetic brand, so that I can keep my brand cohesive. Because at the end of the day, if you understand marketing for specific niches, especially if you're trying to target higher end clients, it needs to look a certain way. You can't just have Word documents looking like complete garbage. You need to have some type of aesthetic. So the good thing is that Claude works with Canva. So at the moment, the external apps that I'm using, that I've used so far, except for the Claude Guard mode super base, because you can do this as a standard desk browser and even for free, but we want to take it up a notch. Okay, and I want to taste out the barriers of AI too. Okay, so the first, the apps that I'm currently using, that it's told me to use, is, or web apps, is Gumroad for sales, TikTok for marketing, LinkedIn for marketing, Gmail. Then you also need Beehive for email marketing. I haven't used it yet, but that's something. Then Canva as well. So far, this is what's happening. So right now, you still need AI and yourself, like a human and AI doing it. It doesn't automate everything yet. And the problem that I have ran into is that even though it generated AI images, it just didn't give me that aesthetic feel yet. Whether that increases over time and Claude can sort that design aspect out, who knows? That's a development. It's like Claude's in its early stage of development anyway. So if you're looking to have, if you couldn't care less about aesthetic, to be honest, and to sell to an audience that, again, you couldn't care less, this is a step to skip. But for me, I know my target audience. So for me, I know a little bit of aesthetic would be great. So at the moment, I am creating the template in Canva, and then I'm just sending it to Claude to then be able to automate the scripts onto the template, edit it for me so that I can export it for scheduling. And the next kind of hurdle I've got into is that I want to batch schedule and do all these things. So that's what I'm experimenting right now. So far on day one, yesterday was my day one. Obviously, I've made £0 because I have just set up. Day two is that I have realized that, and actually AI alerted me, when you keep repeating your goals to AI, what it's told me is that, Tasha, you just want to save time right now. So instead of spending an hour debugging, so debugging is a big thing and it takes a lot of time and it can slow your progress down. It can give you an alternative as well. So I really like that idea that the AI, so this is like the one positive out of my experience so far, is that it's given me the debugging process. And yeah, it says so far that it's going to take, also I just want to give you a guideline of what it says, how long things are going to take. So week one, it says setup and guide written. I did that last night in a day. Week two is complete 1 to 5 sales, Gumroad live, and TikTok launching. I've literally got the Gumroad live yesterday, and the TikTok is launching right now. So we'll see about the sales. So hopefully check back tomorrow to see if I've made any sales, because I'll be just working on this now until I finish setting up everything, because my main objective here is to make money fast. And if setup is going to take me 3 days to go live, I'd rather just get 3 days finished and then start to block out a couple of hours a day, because I'm under the pressure of me working for the next 3 weeks under refrain amount of time. So this is a fantastic experiment to do this. If you found this video useful, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comment down below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao, ciao.